Singer for Star Playhouse presents Dick Powell, Charles Boyer, David Niven, Ida Lupino.
I want to see Dr. Dumont, please.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but it's very urgent. I've got to see him.
The doctor's calendar is completely filled.
But I'm Mrs. Braun. Mrs. George Braun.
Braun? Then you're...
Go ahead, say it. Everyone else is saying it. Why shouldn't you? Mrs. Braun, the wife of the man in the insane asylum.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Braun. I didn't realize. I'll try to work you in. If you just sit down, please.
Thank you.
Sit up straight, Ginger.
Keep your hands off.
Not Danny.
Please, quiet. Dr. Dumont is dictating.
The plight of our criminally insane is the responsibility of every citizen of the community. Those less fortunate individuals whose minds break under the stress of modern living.
Yes? No, he's busy.
What is it?
It's Mrs. Braun. She's here.
Who?
Mrs. George Braun, the wife of the man who was committed to state hospital.
And I can't see her now.
The doctor can't see her now.
Where was I? Tell her not to disturb us.
Yes? Oh, put her on. It's your wife, Doctor.
Hello, darling.
Alex? Darling, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I just want to remind you about tonight.
Tonight? What's tonight?
The Mad Hatter's Ball. You hadn't forgotten, had you?
Oh, that Junior League thing. Is that tonight? Well, it's going to be a bad night for a party, but if you're set on going.
Oh, darling, I've got to go. I'm the chairman. You should see the hats I'm to model. They're really mad. This one is a... Janet, how long have you been standing back there?
What is it? What's the matter?
Now, darling, run along and play mummies on the phone. Alex, she has been driving me out of my mind all day long, pestering me about that imaginary Mrs. Hepplewhite who lives out in the elm tree.
I thought it was in our tree. Oh, yes. It's a man who lives in the linen closet, isn't it? What's his name?
Mr. Gooch.
Oh, yes. Yes, Mr. Gooch. And what is Mrs. Hepplewhite's problem today?
Janet is worried about her getting cold up in the tree in all that snow.
Well, ask Mrs. Hepplewhite in.
Now, darling, you're not suggesting that I talk to her gremlins, are you?
Darling, I've got a full schedule.
All right, darling. But don't be late tonight.
Yes? You may go in now.
Me?
No, the boy.
Come on.
I'm Mr. Reeves from Juvenile Court. This is Danny Moretti and his father.
Well, Danny, you've got quite a record here. Stealing, vandalism. You're in some real trouble this time, aren't you? It says here that you tried to kill your father.
I'll say he did. He tried to smother me with a pillow when I was sleeping. And you can't make him talk. He won't talk to nobody but himself. Crazy in the head, that's what he is.
Danny, Do you mind waiting in here? I'd like to talk with your father.
Look, I work hard all night, dock walloping. Then I come home and my kid tries to kill me just for kicking him out of bed.
Why did you kick him out of bed?
So I could sleep. He'd been sleeping in the bed all night.
How many in your family?
4 kids.
No mother?
She's dead. What's he doing?
He's observing. Danny doesn't know he can be seen and heard.
Well, he's looking right at us.
Well, it's a one-way glass. He can't see through it.
All right, all right. Go ahead and say it. I lost everything up again. No, I wasn't really gonna kill him. He's my old man. I don't know why I did it, Buck.
Who's he talking to?
Shh. He was sleeping there, snoring. He pushed me out of bed. I got sore. I just shoved a pillow in his face. Yeah, I held it there, but I took it away when he got fighting for breath. Go ahead, Buck. Bawl me out. I got it coming. Yeah, but you don't know what it's like here. It ain't like it is out there in Wyoming. Tell me about Wyoming again, Buck. How you used to...
Hello, Danny. Comfortable in here? It's been quite a day. Quite a day. Oh, I'm sorry, Buck. Would you care for one? Oh, I forgot. You're all your own. No, thank you. I've never been able to handle the homemade kind. The paper comes apart and the tobacco spills out even before I get it lighted.
Can you see Buck?
Certainly. Don't you?
Yeah. Well, Buck's not real.
Well, of course he's not real, if you mean, is there a flesh and blood man standing there?
Then what are you talking to him for?
Well, you talk to him, don't you? That must mean that you see him in your mind.
Sure. But I didn't know anybody else.
Have friends in their minds? Oh, of course they do. You know, it's quite wonderful that you and I have the same friends in our minds. What's that, Buck? That's right. Buck reminded me that you are 12 years old. In 6 years, you'll be of age. You can go to Wyoming in 6 years if you want to.
And nobody can stop me?
Nobody. That is, if you're not in the reform school. And after 18, it isn't a reform school anymore. It is the penitentiary.
I didn't mean to hurt Bob. I didn't mean to.
Mr. Moretti, get Danny a bed of his own.
Bed of his own? You think a dock wallop has got nothing but money? I've got 4 kids. We live in 2 rooms.
Bring in Danny to see me once a week.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a good many sessions, but I don't think we'll have any serious problem with him anymore. All right, Danny. You have to come back and see me once a week. Oh, and Danny, bring Buck with you, huh? Snowing harder.
Yes, it is.
You know those bunk beds they sell for kids? Call one of the shops tomorrow morning and order a pair of them sent to Danny Moretti. You know the kind I mean, with pictures of cowboys on them.
Yes, Doctor. I've been waiting out there all afternoon. I'm sorry, Doctor, but she
All right.
insisted.
I'm sorry I had to put you off, Mrs. Brown, but I am a very busy man.
So is my husband. He's very busy, making baskets at State Hospital.
Believe me, Mrs. Brown, I know how you must feel about his being there.
Doctor, it was mainly on your recommendation that he was committed. If you were to explain to them that you'd made a mistake about George, that he isn't insane.
Your husband tried to kill you. In a bar, as I recall, there were some 10 witnesses to the fact that he almost choked you to death. And now you're asking me to have this man judged mentally competent. You may not care for your own life, Mrs. Brown, but what about the next person he may try to destroy?
But George only tried to kill me.
Well, then you do admit that he is homicidal.
Only momentarily.
That's all it takes to commit a murder. A moment.
Or to commit a man into an insane asylum.
Mental hospital.
I don't care what you call it. George is locked up, making baskets.
He needs therapy to keep mind and hand occupied.
But not with baskets. He needs to get under the hood of an airplane, to get grease under his fingernails, to come home tired out from a good day's work.
Well, if I remember correctly, that was his defense, that he was overworked.
But not from his job. He worked 10 hours a day at that airplane factory. Then he'd rush home, grab a quick bite to eat, clean up, and rush right out to night school. He didn't sleep enough. He didn't eat enough. He pushed himself to exhaustion, trying to read books that he could hardly understand. And do you know why? So that he could talk to my father. My father is a college professor with 4 degrees.
Mrs. Brown, we've gone through all this before. Your husband is where he can be cared for. He's receiving the best of treatment. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm very tired. It's very late. I have to go home.
Oh, by all means, go home. Go home where you'll be safe and secure. But whatever you do, don't get off that pinnacle of yours. You might turn into a human being.
Hello. Oh, Claire.
Darling, you've just got to talk to Janet.
Daddy, Mother won't believe me.
Won't believe you about what, dear?
That there's a man in our cellar.
Oh, there is? Well, that's nice. Now, run along and play and put Mother back on the phone, will you?
Doctor, there's an emergency call on the other line.
Hold on, Claire. I've got another call.
It's State Hospital. George Braun got away early this afternoon.
Got away? Hello? Yes? Yes, Doctor? But when did you discover he was gone? I see. But he can't get far in this weather. Well, keep in touch with me, will you? You've got my home phone. Good. Claire, something has come up.
But, darling, what shall I do? Now she's crying because the man in the cellar is all alone.
Well, let her go down in the cellar and play if she wants to. It's warm down there. Now, look, darling, please. It won't hurt you this once to go along with the child's imagination. Now, darling, I can't talk now. I'll be right home.
What do you think Braun will do, Doctor?
Devil. Out in this weather.
That you, darling?
Yes. I could hardly get from the garage to the house. The snow is piling up so. Oh, I wish we didn't have to go out tonight.
Oh, what a day. I had to cook. Amy wanted to go home early. She was afraid she'd get stuck in the snow.
Who's going to stay with Janet tonight if Amy is gone?
Mrs. Burke. She's the relief nurse the Smiths always use. Now, darling, please don't be long. We have to eat, and then we have to dress.
Operator, this is Dr. Dumont at Brighton 4130. Will you get me State Hospital, please? Yes, I'll wait. Well, how is my little girl tonight?
I'm fine, thank you.
Why, that's a pretty dress. Is it new?
No.
Come on in. So you've got a new friend, huh? Down in the cellar. What's he like? Is he nice?
Yes, he's very nice.
What's his name? Hello?
He wants to talk to you, Daddy.
Just a minute. Run along, dear. Daddy's on the phone.
But the man...
Run along, dear. Hello? Yes. Well, anything new, Braun?
Dinner's ready.
Well, we've got to find him before he kills somebody.
Helen, what is it?
Well, keep in touch with me. Yes. Yes, I'm vitally concerned.
Who killed somebody?
Nothing to worry about, darling. Just an inmate got away this afternoon. George Braun.
Isn't he the man who just had committed?
Yes, the aircraft mechanic. Well, let's go and have dinner.
And they still don't know how he escaped?
They think he must have gone over the wall. They've set up a dragnet around his house.
Do you really think he's going to try to kill his wife?
He tried once before. Oh, it's a definite homicidal pattern to try to destroy the person you think is destroying you.
May I be excused, please?
Janet, you haven't finished your dinner.
I want to save this to take down to my friend. I promised.
Now do you see what I've been going through all day long, Alex? Imaginary women in trees getting cold, imaginary men in cellars getting hungry.
Take the food down to your friend, Janet, if you want to. Now, Claire, I've told you so many times you mustn't call them imaginary friends. If you discourage fantasy, children resist you. Why, only this afternoon I had a boy in my office, Danny. You know who he talks to? A cowboy from Wyoming.
And so they brought him to a psychiatrist.
No, you missed the point. This was a tough little delinquent. He turned to this cowboy, this fantasy, desperation, in an effort to escape an intolerable situation.
And you compared Janet to some tough little delinquent?
No, of course not. Janet's make-believe people are a sort of play acting. It's not the same at all. Of course, there is no comparison to Danny.
Oh, darling, we've got to start dressing.
I wish we didn't have to go out tonight with this brown thing hanging fire. You know, it's an amazing thing about his Braun.
What is? That he tried to kill his wife?
No, going to night school, so he could be on the same intellectual level as his father-in-law.
You know, you sound a little unsure to me about whether or not he's insane, I mean.
Well, I can recognize his intentions without accepting his sanity.
But if what you say is true, that a homicidal tries to destroy that which he feels is destroying him.
Of course it's true. It's ABC.
But if he blames you for putting him away...
Now, don't go getting melodramatic, Claire. There is no danger to me.
Honestly, Janet, if you don't stop skulking about this house like an Indian...
No, not Claire. You're not an Indian, are you, Janet? You're a quiet, nice, well-behaved little lady. What have we got there?
An airplane.
Oh. Well, it's broken. You want Daddy to fix it?
No.
Why not?
My friend in the cellar is going to fix it. He fixes airplanes.
Oh. That would be the state hospital. This is Dr. Dumont. Just a minute. It's for you.
Oh. Hello. Oh, yes, Mrs. Burke, where are you? Oh, no. Well, if you can't, you can't. All right, son. Well, that does it. That just makes the whole day perfect. The relief nurse can't come.
Can't come? Why not?
The roads are all blocked with snowdrifts.
Well, it means we can't get out. We're marooned.
Marooned. Hello? Oh, just a moment. It's the state hospital.
Yes? Have you a patrol out? No, don't worry about me. Why, that's ridiculous. Well, let me know anything you hear.
He's in this area, isn't he?
Why, Claire, he could be miles away. If he caught a ride or... What's the matter?
Airplane. She said she was going to take her airplane down to him. She said the man in the cellar fixes airplanes. Airplanes!
Janet! Janet!
Open the door!
But I can't, it's locked.
Unlock it!
The key's in there.
He's down there. He's got her down there.
Janet, are you down there?
No, Daddy.
Where's the key, Janet? Where is the key?
My friend has it.
How did he get it? Oh. There isn't a man down there, is there, Janet? Not really. You're playing one of your little games, aren't you? You hid the key, didn't you, Janet? You locked the door and hid the key. What have you got there?
Please, Daddy, give them back. My friend is hurt. He's bleeding.
If he's bleeding, why didn't you give him your handkerchief?
I did, but it wasn't enough. Please, Daddy, give me the bandages.
There's a maniac in the cellar. Don't just stand there. Call the police. Oh, you're not going to call the police. I am.
It won't do any good. My friend cut the wires down in the cellar.
Alec, look. Her handkerchief. Bloody.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Now do you believe me? George Braun is in that cellar. What are you going to do?
The first thing is to try to block that door.
Don't, Daddy, don't! You locked him in. He can't get out. Now I've got nobody to talk to.
You are like Danny.
You don't care about me. You don't like any of my friends.
What are you going to do?
Go down to the cellar.
Don't! He'll kill you.
I looked with contempt today on a man who didn't see his child's need. I felt like a pretty big man for a while when I supplied that need. But I am no better than the cobbler who makes fine shoes while his own child goes barefoot.
We'll all be killed and you stand there and talk psychiatric nonsense.
Didn't you hear her? She says I've nobody to talk to. And we say, go along, dear, and play. And she takes a toy to a man in the cellar to be fixed.
Well, if you're going to be a fool, at least take your gun with you.
I don't need a gun. The man in the cellar is Janet's friend.
You like him, Daddy? My friend in the cellar?
If you like him, I like him.
Well, then, you don't have to break down the door. I'll just ask him to come up. He only locked it because he was afraid of you. We've got a signal. You can come up now, Mr. Braun. This is my Daddy. He's going to help you. Aren't you, Daddy?
Of course I am. Of course we are.